Hello everybody, we're back with In Other Waters. Last time we just got through the Bloom, also known as literally the worst. We're going to continue to search around, look for all these great fun stuff. Oh my god, please tell me I don't have to go back in there. Okay, good. There's no actual stuff that I need to get in the Bloom again. Oof, that would have been really bad. Never mind, there is. Please just end me right now. It looks like the way that this is currently set up, because I want to get all these samples real quick. We'll start with these three real fast. Wait, crap. Is this the right one? I thought for sure. I'm trying to figure out how to actually get to these places. Oh, wait. Did I go to the East Reef or the Central Reef? This one's table stock, this one's the sing stock. This one's reef cap. I wish that they would show you these like in game, because they don't need to show you where you are like total, but at least like an idea of this map. Because I'm just gonna like go through this and be completely unable to figure out where the heck any of this actually is. Yeah, that was the right place. Okay, let's just continue upwards then. Fast moving water. We can get through that now. Huh, what lies out there? More samples. That's what we want. We just want more samples. The side of the shelf is sliced by the plant's oceanic currents. Look at those flecks of organic material. They're being cycled back into the reef's ecosystem, drifting from unseen places out in the ocean. Must be part of some vast process. Do you think we'll ever understand the cycles of this ocean? Yes. I hope so too. It's just so intimidating. An entire planet of life, and just us to study it. Okay, that's amazing and all, but where do I go from here? Okay. This one was lore. Have I do not. Dang. Let's go pick up some real quick. You know, we can make a bioreactor that allows us to go faster, but we can't make something that, like, makes a shrill noise, so I can just go without having to take gas pods from these coral. Both ledges, the water shelf is bustling with by currents scattering them, bringing them scattering the swirling spores. Broken shelf of the reef reaches out towards deep like a hand. This is the first of 3 fingers which marks the edge. Once again, nothing actually here, just some nice lore. Here, a reef meets the exposed reef edge. What caused this huge slash into the shelf? Surely not just erosion. This is what I was worried about. I don't want to keep using this over and over again. Big scary reef water. Rock gap. There we go. Quiet clearing. This section of the shelf is sheltered by tall headland to the north is strangely peaceful. Okay. Whew. These huge stones have been worn smooth by thousands of years of sitting beside the reef. Beyond these thickly entwined stalks, a violent current can be heard, rushing down through a gap in the headland. Strong current. Water is funneled by rocks into this clearing, making it hard going against the current. Large boulder protects the mouth of this passage from onrushing waters. I'm gonna go over here. Give me the sample. Canopy top. Calm Canyon. Little streams of sand pipe through gaps in the rocks here, driven deep into the crack by the current in the north. This gap between the rocks allows passage both into and out of the exposed section of the second finger of the reef. Another reef separates the second and third fingers of the reef. Another rift separates the second and third fingers of the reef, looked over by ragstock canopy that shed particles into the flow. Another strong current. More strong current. Okay, this is what I've already been to. Yeah, the only problem is that I think I need to get further down like this direction God, I wish they would give me like a generalized map. Yeah, they don't, which is annoying. There you go. Sandy passage. White sand is gathered against the boulders on either sides of this passage in soft, pale drifts. Ooh, another sample site. So anything else from here? Now looks like this is all it. Okay, let me take a look. Probably just go back to the base real quick. Drop off this stuff and then take a look where the last one is, because we got 2 new samples. Oh, we didn't actually look at this one previously. Let's see, fungal cluster. There we go. No relevant taxonomy entries found? What? That's weird. Cool. Which ones did it update? The sing stock and the table stock. Okay. Once again, I'm just gonna put this here real quick so you can read it. And a nice sketch. Observe how bulbous out seed banks are. Truly, truly disgusting to be showing those in public. Nice spores. Also, Tubular Gardens is the name of my alt-rock funk band. Let's see. I had this one down here. The only problem is it seems like the only way to get through this entire thing is just go up and around like this down to here. I don't want to go through any of this unless I have like the obvious upgrade that you want to do. Let me see. I'll probably do the secondary part right here just so I can. I do want to get this just because I hate leaving it all by itself. I think it requires me actually going through the secondary channel down near the bottom. Where I actually have to go like under the water and stuff. Well, under the seabed into the caves. Like right around here somewhere. should be like right around here, it seems. See, this is the part where we should start seeing like an actual pathway down. There's this one right here, which I think leads across, but I'm not completely sure if there's an actual downward leading pathway. So that's one thing that's super hard to navigate in this game. It's just you have no idea if any of these points will actually connect to another point that you need, or if they just lead you off to a completely separate direction. Sample. Which one's this one? Blooming petals. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna do this one off camera because my god, is that frustrating to try and figure out how to actually get over there. We'll just continue on with the normal story right now, because this is just going to be a lot of back and forth wandering trying to figure out which exact nodes are going to lead you to the correct pathway without actually telling you anything. Yeah, let's just start. This frickin' stanky ass zone with its acidic, corrosive water. But what I just have to do is make a mad dash down to the bottom left. Take some of these real quick. Another one of these, which is good. There we go. White sand. A million tiny grains, perhaps broken down remains of those silicate skeletons gather here in soft, sparkling waves. Away from the protective bubble, the bloom regains its sickly green. Screw algae blooms. Algae blooms suck. All my friends hate algae blooms. Alright, one sec. Oh, come on. It only lasts for like half a second. Ouch, more bloom bubbles. Oh, good, another one of these. Let's just go in here real quick. This place was pressurized at some point. It must have taken months of work to establish this lab. Bubble edge beyond and just weeks of corrosion for it to fall into ruin. Beyond the bubble, the angular shape of the lab's second module sits silent, wrapped in the cords of microbial growth. Looks like Mine was us gathering those mineral skeletons, studying them. What secrets have you uncovered, Mine? How were these strange silicon spheres worth all this? The equipment here suggests Mine was studying the mineral skeletons where she has cut through. The silica shines pure silver. What's down here? These modules are so rapidly melting away, they are blooms micro metabolizing the metal itself. No, don't go out there. Nesting weavers. A nest of small iridescent creatures which maintain protective bubble around their territory, shielding them from the bloom. I'll call these weavers, for those beautiful nests and bubbles they weave. What will we do without them? Literally suffocate. Crystal cylinders. As we are now, Mine must have relied on the protective bubbles to study these spheres provide to study the bloom and its ecosystem. More nest workers, that's why. Here you go. Wow, that provides a lot. But I can't eat it. So that sucks. Are there any more that provide that much? Those are nest workers. That's an object. That's another object, so no. Okay. And this one seems good. Back down to the infinite suck dimension. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like the bloom actually exists down here. Let's see. Mine must have laid this under the lab when she constructed it. The water is clear here, shielded from the microbial clouds. Machines glint in the dark. Paper and tools lie still on the silted speck surface. It's been as if the scene has been frozen, captured in time. Yo, was she writing down on paper literally in water? It's not a lab, it's a workshop. She was building something down here. It's a suit. It looks like she was modifying an old atmospheric hard suit. How deep was she planning to go? Those are verified for beyond 1,000 meters. I'm going to see what I can pull from the documents and notes here. Some of them are still partially readable. The lack of water flow must have kept them in good condition. She was definitely speccing the suit for use beyond the drop-off, modifying it with the silicate skeletons. Artificers, she calls them, exoskeletons of nanofibrous goethite, protecting a silicon carbide core. Neato. The pressure resistance of their exoskeleton is unprecedented for a biological material. That would take the depth rating of the hard suit well past 3,000 meters. Incredible. But why go over the drop-off at all? What was pushing her forward? She was incredibly driven, desperate even. She mentioned sending ROVs down to the abyssal plain, cobbled together from bits of the base. All of them were lost, and her work on the suit failed. That's where the notes seem to end. Most of the recent documents mentions another way. Did she make it? How? The suit was so close to completion. Why abandon it? We have to make that dive. If I can fix up this suit, we can take it over the drop-off. Please, perhaps Minek managed it. We need to follow. I can do this. We can do this. Let's get back outside and call on the drone. So we're not gonna get something that oxygenates the water around us, are we? Great. What's this? Bloom froth. Yeah, no, let's just leave. There we go. Glad to see back here online. Sorry for the rush, but we've got to move. I've been going through Mine's notes from her lab, and from what I can tell, she attempted a free dive over the drop-off. That's why she left her suit behind. She must have opened it up and descended. I know what you're thinking. There's no way she could free dive thousands of meters to the ocean floor. But that's what she did, willingly. We are going after her. We need to dive now. I've been working on the suit and it's almost ready. I've used sections of Mine's failed hard suit to modify our suit. It's now a full atmospheric dive suit. Internally, we should be able to maintain 1 atmosphere pressure for me and that casing of yours. It'll work just like before, but our depth rating is massively increased. We can hit 2, maybe 3,000 meters. The suit is in the bay, so load whatever samples you need. I've marked the drop-off on the map. We can drive there directly and search for any evidence there. I have no idea why she would do this. It's suicide, but she seemed to believe she could do it. Get ready to go. I'll be waiting. It's always awkward when you're going down looking for evidence in the hopes of not finding a body. More taxonomy. Arthropods. Let's see. Okay, let's actually put the samples in there first. Let's see. I think this one, and I think we already have a bloom bubble. I'm just gonna put that one in there just in case. No, we didn't. Okay, cool. Ah, there we go. Nesting weavers. That was the problem. We didn't actually know what they were yet, or it had a name. Behavior. What do you want? Ah, new thing. Mine is gone, and she's left behind one hell of a mess. This base is falling apart. Cannibalize. Oh no. It's the newest one? Okay, there we go. Finding that laboratory in the bloom, it is almost like working with Mine again. I still have some good memories of Kepler 62F. However, is diving beneath the ice in that crystalline ocean, sampling the mineral deposits that Mine claimed were evidence of life, our synchronized rhythms in the lab, working silently but in concert, lying beside her in the too narrow berth, the creak of pack ice rattling down the base's spine. But those memories come with unwelcome ones attached. One of Mine's quiet judgment, her deep sadness, her flaring anger. For a few short months, that subglacial ocean was ours, blocked from the universe outside by 5 kilometers of ice. Its secrets were our own, but then Mine had other secrets too. Seemed like I will never escape her secrets. Here I am living among them, drowning in them, picking through them in search of answers. This is like the weirdest catfishing / toxic relationship I've ever seen, where the dude is willingly going back to this lady that just has more secrets. She never, the only secret that she had was that she had more secrets. Let's see, let's get out of here. The drop off. How am I supposed to get there? Oh, you actually click there. Yeah. Looking at all of these, I figure I'm just going to do them off camera. Because traversing through that is just going to be a mixture of trying to find my actual correct direction and just, you know, vague gruntle screaming. So let's just continue on. Are you back with me? We are 20 seconds from the ocean floor. Wow, we descended quick. Good. I was getting lonely in here. We are descending fast. The drop is huge. 1.5 kilometers down. Let's stay focused. We have no data on the zone of the ocean. The light of Glise's 667 cc's 3 stars barely make it this deep. I've got my headlamp on. You have to be my eyes. I want to work with my way along the scope to the northeast. We're looking for any traces of Mine, or the ROVs she sent down here. Let's get to it. Dusk slope. Beyond the reach of the suit's lamp and the slopes descend slowly into the dark, toward the abyssal plain. Let's go into the abyss! The heavy currents of the upper ocean don't reach down here, leaving the water still and silent, sediment suspended in the column. Also, whenever you mention this planet, you also have to mention it has 3 suns. Every single time. A bioluminescent glow drifts through the silt, a faint but noticeable chemical blue. Ooh, janglies. What's this? Tangled veil. These drifting veils of material appear to be some kind of creature with pulsing faintly with pinpricks of light. These sequent creatures are almost transparent. Apart from these lights, what are they? They're like glowworms. Oh, really long glowworms. In the headlamp of the suit, I can occasionally see a vein-like texture on the surface of these the veils. What substance sustains them? Feel the veil. Diaphanous veils twitch, suspended in the water. They are seeded with pinpricks of bioluminescence, like distorted star fields. The veils are gathered in groups, which I am calling tangles. They seem to be intentional formations, but for what purpose? The lights the veils produce come directly from beneath their skin. They shift from transparent to light-emitting in undulating waves. Surrounding us, all sides by drifting sheets of bioluminescence, the space is a fluid shifting interior. Ooh, God. The veil delivers some kind of stunning electrical shock to the suit. Is that how they disable their prey? We should be careful of contact with this species. Great. Though tangled and without any clear sensory organs, these creatures seem to have a strong control over their position in the water. Studied along the veils are the remains of creatures that have been confused by the lights and caught by these transparent hunters. At close inspection, these veils are jeweled with the half-digested remains of other life, passing conveyor-like from one veil to the next. There we go. Snare veil. Wide, delicate silken panels of bioluminescent cells. They work in unison to entrap and digest creatures who come too close. I'm naming these strange creatures snare veils. They are such beautiful traps. Same, I guess. I've been called that. Between these two veils, some clear water is visible, a temporary corridor between two hanging sheets. A gap between the veils is it these two competing individuals, or is this just some temporary separation of a single group? Let's go in this way real quick so I don't have to cross. Ooh, samples, yay. But I am probably going to need more fuel with just how much crossing back and forth there is. Veil edge. Here the tangle is receding. A few of this traveling veils hang still in the dark water like the poised limbs of a dancer. But don't worry, the veil is planning on getting a toupee in order to look more full. The veil is blinking in the same sequence of lights over and over. Perhaps this is a way of attracting curious prey into their grip. I didn't mean to tell you about this place. The life here. It's the biggest discovery in human history. Do you think she's trying to protect it? Absolutely. Well, then why bring me here? Maybe she expects me to keep her secret too. She always had her secrets, but this feels bigger than that. Away from the veils, the water returns to its inky darkness, resisting the strong beam of the Zeus lamp. Silt has gathered around the base of two large outcrops, forming a natural respite from the steady downward pitch of the slopes. Dark basal layers rise up out of the slopes like fractured towers, each jagged layer carrying drifts of silver silt. These dark towers of angular stones are the telltale signs of volcanic processes active under the planet's surface. Ooh, ROV debris. What must be one of Mine's improvised remote vehicles lies twisted in silt. Could it have been disabled by the veils? This debris. It's one of Mine's ROVs. Yes, that's what the thing said. Wait, to my left. Is that a human? It's her! Yay! A static body. Is that... Oh god. Sup, Mine? She's here. She's alive? Jesus Christ, we're 1,500 meters below the surface. We're reading life signs and she's breathing? That can't be right. How long has she been here, lying in the silt? We have to bring her back to base. But I don't... Okay, focus, Ellery. What do? We can use the ROV to boost our signal to the base, sending the drone. Then we can start the ascent. Get me back to the ROV to Briss and hook us up with the terminal. Okay. Okay, we are synced. Call the drone now. We need to get her out of here. She's still there. Yes, okay, cool. Yay, we found a body? Maybe? It's a living body, but still. Oh, we're back to 4.2. We're at 5.1. You're back. I need to talk. I'm on the medical level. Do you want me to go to the medical level? She is totally unresponsive. I don't know what to do. I don't even understand how she's still alive. I keep going back to the image of her, blue, silent, staring out of the silt. A thin stream of bubbles flicking from her mouth. How long has she been there? The pressure alone should have crushed her at the depth. This doesn't make sense. But she's alive. I need to talk to her, but nothing. I want to understand. I want to know what's going on here. I haven't seen her in years, not since she left. And now, here she is. That tends to happen with people who leave. Do you ever imagine all the things you're going to say to a person when you see them again? Absolutely not. No, of course you don't. You're a machine, sorry. Dude, that's rude. I'm sorry, I just came here for her. I don't know what I did, but I did. I think it's because I had to hope for something to change, for there to be an explanation, for those months spent together to mean something again. Sorry, I'm not making any sense. Dude, we know you're in a relationship. It's pretty obvious. This makes twice. 2 times she's turned my life upside down. Well, I can take a minute to sit right there. At this time, I knew what I was signing up for. It's not like I had to be anywhere else. The further I am from the dying planet, the better. What comes next? We keep going. She was looking for something out there, something important enough to leave her like this. It's our turn to take that forward, to find that explanation. I think she built that lab in the Bloom to study those mineral skeletons, artificers she calls them. But something was leading her deeper, beyond the drop-off. Let's start with those ROVs she sent down. Maybe they found something we didn't. I'll mark their last known positions on the dive map, and I'll be here until you are ready to go. Okay, cool. She's still alive. I never thought I would see her again. Not after she sliced the core from the base on Kepler's 62F and took the shuttle to God knows where. I spent weeks slowly freezing in that base, waiting for the Baikal team to come get me. After that, it all fell apart. There was never any life on Kepler 62F. Mine had faked the whole thing. She wanted the data core she knew Baikal would provide when she gave them evidence of first contact. Baikal blamed me, and my work as a consulting biologist collapsed. I limped back to Earth to take a post-grad position on that dying planet. There is little need for marine biologists in a place where the only oceanic life is kept in tourist-choked reserves. That's where I stayed, watching the endless exodus of humans with enough money to leave, looking out across the dead ocean at pinpricks of their shuttle's rocket flares. Until Mine called me here, I should blame her for everything. But I just want to know why. Perhaps now, if she ever wakes up, I can ask her. Big surprise. Humans kind of totally suck. Oh yeah, I should probably put these in first. Let's see, do we get a new one? Digester remains. That's just fan dust. Okay. It's a little annoying that you have to go into this totally separate menu in order to put it in and then scan it, because you can't tell which ones you've scanned already. Let's see, dive map. Where do we need to go now? Jesus Christ, we have to go. Whoa, that's way far out. Let's just go back. Yeah, I'm gonna save the ending parts. I'm gonna save all of the text logs for the various animals and such to the end, because I'm just going to do it in one large chunk, so that way if you want to read it you can. If you don't, then you can just skip that part. Glinting debris from the disabled ROVs traces back into the sand. Unmistakably, basalt forms in some volcanic trench eons ago. This outcrop is outlined by the faint light of these A6673C's suns. Oh, he didn't say 3 suns. He just said suns. That's unusual. East of the ridge, a small rise opens into a flat plain of a dimpled silt. A featureless expanse lit flatly by the suit's lamps. Occasional a silver bubble breaks the surface of flat silt, carrying a cloudy trail of sediment behind it. Repeated trails of unknown creatures mark the sand, wandering back and forth across the rippled surface. Bubbles of methane trickle out from beneath the silt, creating silver columns wreathed in sand. Okay, half of these are like the same thing, but said slightly differently. Pockmarks. Ahead, the seeps have created small craters in the seabed where brine is gathered in clouded pools. What is this? Jesus Christ. A shimmering landscape of ghostly pools stretch out in the lamps, the dense brine sitting in the craters like undersea ponds. Wait, we have detection for salt water? Shouldn't that be, like, all the time? The methane seems must be forming them. Pools themselves will be toxic and anorexic. Let's navigate carefully. They are beautiful. Fog-skinned puddles sunk in the seabed, but they are dangerous. Great. Let's walk through one directly. What did I literally just say? Patterns of dents in the sand show the paths of the feathery creatures that cross from pillar to pillar in slow and purposeful loops. Tell me your secrets. What do you got? Ooh, crabs. Yay, even on this planet we got crabs. Okay, these crawling creatures seem to keep to themselves. Let's keep track of where they find them. This crab-like creature is moving slowly across the seafloor with a large translucent crest protruding from its back. These feathery fronds are going along the edge of the brine, waving their matted leaf-like limbs through the water. These swaying fronds, are they a colony of single creature? Are they a colony or a single creature? I'll start recording my observations. The waving shapes of complex fronds caress the surface of the pool, sweeping the brine into wispy shapes. Each of the many limbs of these branching creatures is carefully dipped into the brine pool one by one before pulling back. A mucus bubble sits on the silt, shed from the back of the bubble-skinned creatures which are trekking the perimeter of the pools. Let's go there. That's a sample. Whoa, it gets a lot of oxygen. More crab. On closer inspection, the larger translucent crest appears to be a gas-filled organ or bubble of some kind, rising from the slit in the shell. Occasionally, this creature will sweep its limbs back into the hairy mass of its body before thrusting them out again. What is it doing? It's feeding. That's what filter feeders do. While some pools transition into bare sand, others are choked with fronds. Bristling fronds. The thick hairs of each frond seem to be mottled with a reddish substance. Does it grow there amongst the hairs? Pool network, toxic pools. Pillar of shining bubbles rise up to the surface. Bright orange carpets of microbial growth gathered beneath the waving fronds stretched away from the pool. We could sample them here. Let's do that. When a limb is removed from the brine, the red substance mounted onto the hair seems to glow brighter, shifting in color. From this slight elevation, the gleaming surface of the huge brine lake can be seen out to the east. Great, we're not going that way. It seems that the substance caked in these creatures' hair is reacting to the brine somehow. Perhaps it's helping them to feed. That'd be interesting, like a microbial growth. The dipping motion of the fronds as they filter the brine creates a hypnotic sense of motion along the edge of the lake. Ooh, more crab. These wandering creatures noisily chew at the rock and silted ocean floor, perhaps filtering it for nutrients. A bank which skirts along the edge of a large shadowed pool. Let's go this way first, and then we come back for this direction. Ah, crab. What is this? Fast creature. These rapid swimming lobster-like creatures have dark shells with very large translucent tails. How do they move so fast? These creatures are so fast. Their dark color makes them hard to see, but let's keep track of them. Poisoned remains. Along the edge of the large pools, the shells and skeletons creatures looming out in the sill, victims of the toxic brine. Jesus. This rise projects out towards the vast brine lake of the east, cutting between deep pools. Brine pools mark the plain on all sides, densely packed around the vast lake. Here, the complex of pools melts into a lake, which shines with a toxic intensity. Can anything live out there? Obviously, yes, because we found life. Unlike the shallow seep marks of the south, these deep craters plunge through the silt into the bedrock. Deep crater. There we go, microbial mats. Among the ornate fronds, I can see neon oranges and microbial carpets spreading out from the patterns. Okay. Spreading out from the pool in complex growth patterns. Crab. Different individuals of the species seem to have varying sizes of bubbles on their backs. Are they carrying oxygen in there? Absolutely not. Oh, come on, crab, you gotta move. I need to scan the other thing. Thank you. Brine eaters. Branching feathery fronds which grow alongside brine pools, carefully dipping their matted and stained limbs in and out of the brine. Okay, let's go down here real quick. The brine lake is vast. I can't see the other side. What might be hiding within its toxic fog? Do you think life mice are out there? Yes. It's true that this planet has shifted my entire idea was survivable. Perhaps there's something out there, waiting to be discovered. A faintly pulsing glow, like lightning in a storm, can be seen beneath the cloudy brine. Time to go directly into the terror pool. Faster, please. Thank you. Get me out of here. Don't care. Another one of these, which I'm not sure. Cool. Oh, is it another one of, let's see, mucus bubble? Yeah, it's 2 mucus bubbles. Okay. At least I got whatever was in this part. Ow. Yo, can we not go in like literally a straight line? Can we just dodge a little bit, please? Something out in the dark is sending slow waves to this burning beach. What could I live out there? Nope. Directly through the pool again. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even see this part. Burning beach. The edge of the lake is stained with brightly colored bacterial mats which recede beneath the cloudy toxic mats of the brine itself. The water is a blinding milky white flow in the headlamps. Time to go for pain. Yep, there's stuff out here. Toxic waters. What the heck is this? Crab. This sucks. I don't care. Just get me through this horrible brine lake. I guess take a look. Shed carapace. A small, smooth carapace sits between the pools, half sunk in sand. Could this be the this island be a refuge for juvenile creatures? Wow. Let's see, we got a young carapace. Glistening bubble. So this is just an island for big crab. Stilt-legged stone. I'm seeing this creature take dead remains in the brine pool and decorate itself with them. Trophies of shell and bone. Yo, when you live in a toxic environment, one of the few things you can do is make yourself look fancy, at least. From the small pool At the lake's edge, a pale blue pulse is flashing. I swear I see lights blinking in response out above the brine lake. Okay, I'm gonna eat this one real quick. Maybe, actually, yeah, I'll eat the fan dust because I don't need that. And the nest workers. Come on, give me, where is it? No, wait, this is another brine shell. Fudge. That's not what I wanted. The sand between the pools runs down the lake. Is this island being slowly swallowed, or is it just my paranoia? I would love to be able to read these, but I cannot. It would take too much time, and there's no way to mitigate this. Oh, this is a safe spot. Okay, cool. Blue smears glow faintly on the remains piled on the shredder's back. Are these bioluminescent creatures or chemical phenomena? A stained slab of basalt juts out of the brine pools, providing a tiny safe zone from the toxic liquid. Let's go this one first. That was the right choice. Sylph Island, hemmed in by toxic pools, the small rise looks out across a landscape of deep craters and unrelenting darkness. A thin stripe of sand pushes out into the lake surrounded by toxic pools. This lake is bigger than any I've seen on Earth. The volume of the methane trapped in the bedrock must be impossibly vast. The haze lifting out of the lake and pools all around make visibility very poor. Vague shapes flit in and out of the columns of bubbles. A mucus bubble shed from the back of a creature sits on top of a small pile of silt as if it were an egg. Give me the egg. Okay, let's see. This is actual more egg? Yeah, it's just another mucus bubble, which I'm going to take anyways because I have to eat one. Here we go. That's good. I've already seen all that. A radial pattern of depression in the rock suggests debris expanding outward from an impact point. Those aren't seep pools. Something impacted the sea floor here. Meteors? But how would they get so deep? Or could some creature have left these? The small plane is strangely clear of creature tracks. It must not cross into this northern zone. Actually, there's something down there I want to check real quick. Yeah, right here. Between the walls of the ridge and the corroded shelf is a silvery white strip of pale and silvery silt. Pools like fog cauldrons model the seafloor. Bacterial mats bring bright smears of color to the scene. Oh, okay, so this just is a back loop around. Some of these more northern pools are emptying of brine, leaving the only shallow layers at their base. The pools seem to continue to the north, but why do they stretch so far away from the main body of the lake? Brine gathers in this small crater like a settled storm. It would be beautiful if it wasn't so toxic. Insert anybody that you've had a relationship in the past with that you don't like anymore. The pool seems to cover a huge part of the seabed, radiating out from the lake in ornate patterns. The RVs must have been attracted some signal among the pools, but it became another victim of the corrosive brine. Oh, there we go. Let's scan this. Hey, maybe we can refill our stuff now. One of Mine's ROVs. It looks like this was disabled by the brine. The supplies Mine equipped you with are still intact, that we can resupply. Open the terminal and see what this little guy found down here. Oh wow, you found something big, didn't you, little guy? Looks like... Is that a wreck? Incredible. The debris field stretches all the way northwest from here. Must have been large. A freighter or a research vessel. We have to go see this thing. Come on. We can head back to base after. Okay. I'll go that way. I'll go the correct way in just a second. I just want to scan this real quick. Empty crater. Empty of brine. This crater was clearly created by a large impact, showing radial cracks from the rock spreading out from a single point. Just checking all this real quick to see I'm not missing anything. North Passage. Glowing shape. Something is emitting a faint glow beneath the brine. It is the sharp shape of a shell or perhaps skeletal remains. Isolated oasis. Despite all the toxic brine on all sides, this glowing oasis clings to the rock even as it is melted away. What the heck is this? Oh, that's new. Trefoil petals which gather around the glowing fans of the deep. They angle themselves towards light like expectant children. What are these petal-shaped creatures? They only grow around the glowing fans. A bright fan. Like the fans found in the bloom, these creatures are fan-shaped filter feeders. However, these varieties go with a cold fire. These fans seem to play a central role in the ecosystem here. I'm going to start recording data. Cool. Precarious seeds among the pools. This fan shows signs of decay. It's amber waves of light uttering and flickering unevenly. Is there any more here, or is it just these ones? Okay, cool. I'll just grab the sample on here. What is... Let's see. These are 2 brine shells. I'll just do this one. I don't need more of them. Cool. Okay, let's go back to the actual correct direction. Here's the edge of the debris trail. Something sank here, and the spread of debris exploded. It's been here for years, decades, and the metal is corroded to little more than a frame. That means Mina wasn't the first person to come here. Something big happened here, something no one was meant to find. Or maybe some people just exploded in orbit. This huge piece of debris has been distorted and twisted by the brine, leaving it totally unrecognizable. Bulbous red, rust-red lumps are scattered across the pale sand like seeds thrown to the wind. The spars of the frame stick out of the sand like fractured ribs, fronds, and other growths closing the gaps between them. Ooh, big crab. Brine strider. A stilt-legged crab-like creature that clears the brine pools of dead remains, providing a habitat for glowing life on its wide shell. I'll call these mournful creatures brine striders. They are walking lanterns calling out in the dark. Neato. Fractured plates. The broad flat plates of the wreck sit at right angles to each other, forming a complex wall, angular walls. A curved strip forms a narrow walkway between the pools beside the wreck. Wrecked oasis. A warm glow lights the cracked and corroded skin and twisted plates of the sharp relief. Each one of these shelled creatures seems to have an own territorial loop, an area of seafloor it systematically searches through. Pale petals. Each of the white petals has patterns of stamina and stamen across the surface, and from these some kind of pollen is drifting out in clumps. The fan has tucked itself into the side of the vast corroded plate, forming an oasis in the shadow of the wreck. Is this the same thing I have? 30%. Let me just click on this real quick. Yeah, it's a fan sheath. Significantly taller than the boom fans, these creatures seem to favor the rocky substrate of the ocean's basalt floor pillars. There was something over here I want to check real quick. That's the other thing that's kind of annoying, is that if I want to, I have to remember really carefully where everything is, otherwise I'm going to lose myself in this giant maze of single nodes. A split in what must have been once been the vessel's hull allows passage into an overgrown interior. Okay, that's the actual correct direction. There's random stuff with like eaten fronds. Fronds crowd this piece of debris, and some eaten away by the local grazers. Broken limbs lie all around. We could sample one of the smaller pieces. Okay, cool. Give me the samples. Thank you. Yep, that's the last of it. Melted corridor. The brine has left everything but the vaguest shape of the vessel possible to define. We're entering the main body of the wreck now. It's a little more than a husk. It's impossible to tell if anything from these rest plates. Whose ships was this? The local ecosystem looks to have been scraping away at this thing for decades. Nothing much left for us. Ovoid creature. These ovoid creatures sit pulsing on the edge of the deep oasis. They are glassy and soft, like partially boiled shell-less eggs. We've done it. We found the egg. This bay, perhaps once a cargo hold, is being scraped away by the frond-like creatures, releasing flakes of organic orange rust into the water. Half buried in the sand, the industrial seals in this equipment locker have been held. It must have been protected from the crash within its bay. Look, a still sealed dive locker. Let's see if we can get it open. Okay, I think I can lever. Yes, it's open, but there's not a lot here. Wait, this cutting torch looks clean enough. With a little work, this could be salvaged. Oh yeah, we can cut things now. Is this Bakai tech? Hard to tell. It looks compatible with the suit though. I'll stow it and see what we can do when we get back to base. More ovoids. When close to these creatures, you can feel the pull of the strong filtering action as they absorb water and push it through their bodies. The plates of the wreck buckle and bend outwards here, bent away by some huge interior force. Oh, great, more acid pools. The craters crushed around the vessel suggest explosive force of some considerable magnitude. These creatures seem to produce small branching buds in the same way that a hydra grows a clone of itself in order to reproduce. Asexual. Most of the wreck must have already been lost to the brine. Only this section remains, precariously settled on a silt bank. The wreck garden. Whatever its origin, the wreck has become a sanctuary for the ocean's life. There is a beauty to its reclamation. There we go. Lung crest. Wait, okay. None of this adds up. If there was a wreck here, then there were people. And there were people, well, why doesn't everybody know about this place? About its incredible life? We spent centuries looking for life outside Earth and found nothing. I've seen so many dead planets, so many barren worlds. I've certified each of them clear of life. Just so an exoplanet extraction corp can pick them clean for maximum profit. Strip mine them for resources our ever-expanding species needs. This place is impossible, 1 in a million, yet already marked by our greedy fingerprints. What brought the ship here? This has to be history Miss Mine wanted to uncover. Let's head back to base. There's more to find, I'm sure of it. Okay. A shell-like, crab-like creature which scavenge the ocean floor in search of nutrients, carries a mucus-lined bubble on its back. It's like those spiders. Oh, come on, dude. Please. I need to scan the thing literally underneath you. It's like those spiders that bring the nice little air bubbles when they go underwater, so they can do underwater hunting nests. At this creature's interior sits a sphere, surrounded by a reflective membrane, bathed in light from the transparent sections on its body. Near the sphere, the debris field fades away as the ocean forest slopes towards the abyssal plain. Is there anything else? Nope, this is the last. Okay, cool. Let's do a quick little check back here to see if I missed anything. Could this set of seeps have been created by the wreck's impact? Perhaps it breached the bedrock, protecting the methane below. A crested shell sits in the edge of a brine pool. Its former inhabitant nowhere to be seen. Could we sample it here? Oh god. Do I have an extra right there. Well, let's just check, see if we actually need this one. Yeah, I do. Okay. Put this away because I have 2 of them. But yeah, I think this doesn't seem to be anything else, so let's just get out of here. I'm completely full up on everything that I need to put into the actual biocontainment area. Something has happened. Come to medical now. Ooh, is she a different color is? Mina is growing. I haven't dared to go in. Is she budding? I can't make sense of the readouts. Her vitals are unreadable, but she's still alive. What kept her alive on the slopes is changing her somehow. I've been sat here watching her. I don't know what to do. Do you think she's in pain? Nah, she's unconscious. I hope so. She doesn't seem to be suffering. But then I don't know what this is. There are procedures. Every base stack is equipped with quarantine systems. I can authorize to be purged. End it now. Is that still meaning? I can't. What do you think? Should I authorize the purge? No, dude. No, you're right. That's meaning. I didn't come all this way just to... We need to monitor her to try to understand what is happening here. Yes, that's the reason. Not because of your crush on this lady. Thank you. I won't give up on her. I won't be afraid of what I don't understand. We can find the answers together. Ah, friendship. Okay, we can do this. I've hooked up the cutting torch from the debris field. I hope it helps. I need some answers. Let's find that other ROV. Cool. Okay, let's put all this stuff in here real quick. Oh, I apparently have 2 of those. Okay, those are all done. Now let's scan these. Oh, this one doesn't like it. It doesn't like that one either. Okay, cool. Tell me about this hab. Is Mine still Mine? What has this place done to her? I barely have been able to leave her the medical level, though I dare not enter the surgery. Did she do this by choice? For those few months on Kepler 62F, I was clear that Mine was struggling with something, but we never spoke about it. But behind her intensity lay a frenzied self-doubt. She never talked about her family. All I knew that she was a rare spacer born out in the black on some orbital military base. Some days she wouldn't leave the berth, just curled up so small, silently staring out. Would she do this on purpose? Open up her suit and willingly slip into the deep? I suppose it doesn't matter now. All I can do is monitor. At least I'm not alone. Yay, you have the AI of your suit to keep you company. Let's just do the dive map now. God, now I have to go off in this direction. Actually, before even that, I want to go over here and check out what the heck this weird thing is. The super duper weirdo big boy that we got going on over there. Okay, let's see. I think we headed up this way. This is where I need to be fast. I require speed. The nice thing is it does make you a lot faster, but it just takes up oxygen, which is not something that you want to be doing a bunch. I think over here. No, maybe it's up here further. What are we doing here? Heading out into the open ocean? No more wandering. We should be heading deeper. That's where the answers lie. Call on the drone. Let's find that final ROV. You asshole. I already found the weird thing out there. Ooh, that's rude. I found it before that was even a thing, probably. So they're like, no, please don't ruin the secret. But it's like, I've already ruined the secret, dude. I've already been there. I'm 5 steps ahead of this game. And I say this right before I get punched right in the dick. Trying to find out where these last few samples are in this area. And just slowly die in corrosive water. Complex creature. Massive tentacles and growths unlike anything I've seen. It's difficult to understand the anatomy of these creatures just by looking at it. What is it? It looks like a whole menagerie of creatures caught in a silken net. Pale passage. From between the towers, a pale blue light flickers over the rocks. Flanked by towers, this pass leads even deeper down the slope. Let's just go over here real quick. Oh, more of these things. Veil tangle. The veils reach out towards the black basalt towers, emitting flashes of cyan light. More veils. We need to be careful. Clear water. Has to be a way to find the path through. Yes, go to the individual nodes. They're highly labeled. This veil is in the process of splitting away from the rest of the body. Is this how a veil is born, or is this an injury? Even on the far side of the tangle, the veil's lights can be overwhelming, multiplying my shadow in all directions. This close to a veil, the light is unbearably intense. Its repeating patterns leading ghosts on my retina. That's how you get haunted. Veils shimmer along the slope, marking both glittering lights of the dark remains of those creatures who stayed too close. Let's just get this one first. Complex creature. Occasionally this creature stops and unfolds its tentacles and it chambers to cover a broad area of water. Is it hunting? The outcrop hides from this outcrop hides a wealth of life, from long-legged crawlers and filter feeders to blurred shapes which flit through the suit's lamps. Water bulbs. Partially transparent egg-shaped creatures which feed by filtering water. A strange sphere resides in their iridescent interior. I call these cryptid creatures water bulbs. Let's see what we can uncover about them back at the lab. Well, they're egg-shaped, so obviously they're better than most other creatures. On closer inspection, these petals are solid growths, not fragile objects. They sit like thin tree stumps on the sand, each on its own wide stalk. Unlike the Bloom's fans, these deep water variants are covered in a translucent sheath of mucus, which protects their delicate spines. This huge curved fan glows with a warm bioluminescence. Waves of amber light pass up its considerable height. Let's see what we got for samples here. Just more fan sheath. Might as well. Getting low on some of the other stuff. Cold fire bathers. These wide petal-shaped plants gather in groups and grow in the light of the deep sea fans. Their pollen fills the water around each stem. I'm going to need these cold fire bathers. They seem to be strongly linked to the light of these fans. From this side of the arrangement, a pulsing glowing forms nestled in the basalt. It is a sanctuary of life and warming light. More oxygen's always nice. Standing beside these clusters of egg-like forms, I can feel them filtering huge volumes of seawater in pulsing gulps. Away from the outcrop, the silty slope begins to descend again. A large field of veils whose pale blue light appears unpleasantly cold in comparison to the warmth of the oasis. Oh wait, no, fudge, I want that one. No wonder Mine's RVs never return. These veils are everywhere. Like on Earth, they must rely on predation to survive this deep. I don't know, we already said that one. They must rely on predation to survive this deep, where little sunlight reaches. The veil here is a set of gaudy walls closing off the ocean around. There's a beauty to being inside the field of veils, a song of light that makes it impossible to keep a sense of direction. Tangled veils create a translucent twitching maze. Who knows how temporary these gaps in the walls of the veils are. We should make use of them when we can. These loops of veils are carrying a wave of light that passes from one individual to another. Wait, no, I already got that. One individual to another and back again. What does it mean? Like city lights beyond a curtain, I can see warm pinpricks of an oasis behind the waxy wall. An avenue between the veils, flickering shapes caught in the suit's lamps, suggesting other creatures make use of this safe passage too. Some creatures has shed or lost a segment of his tail shell here. Looks among the veil. Looks small for a sample. Ooh. Into the pain. Let's see. What do we got? Is this something new or is this something... Yay, it's something new. Do not eat. Let's put this down near the bottom. No, it doesn't let me. Time for more pain. Oh, Jesus. That does a lot of damage. Creature remains. This veil is hung with husks of acacias, like a dark cloud obscuring the starlit sky of its bioluminescence. These must be just way to increase your health back up. Past the drifting sheets, another pattern of light skirts around the edge of the tangle. A mutual predator to the veils, perhaps? A gap in the tightly knotted veils leads to the welcome amber light of another oasis. This fan shimmers with waves of cold fire, bathing the surrounding oasis in a warm light. Cold fire fan. Filter feeders that beneath a mucus sheath pulse with warm light, often surrounded by other creatures benefiting from their glow. I'll call these cold fire fans, after those mesmerizing flame-like pulses. Deep oasis. Another garden of creatures rooted in the dark basalt shelf. A welcome break from the intensity of the veil fields. Let's see what we got. That's a bunch of oxygen. I'll take it. Just in case. The veil seems to sit away from those basalt shells, preferring to see themselves in silty dark between the rocks. This side of the outcrop, where the warm light of the fan does not reach, it's absent of life. At the edge of the outcrop, in the light sand slope, a shallow burrow leads down. Eggs glint within. We can sample them here. Ooh, eggs. Always good. You. Fast creature. These creatures seem to follow the same routes back and forth through the veils. Why do they limit themselves to these pathways? So they don't get electrocuted. That seems to be the good consensus. Give me egg. Another basalt pillar. Ovular growth. These pale pulsing creatures have noticeable growths budding off from their central form. We could sample them here. Here we go. Abyssal sail shell. Small dark creatures with a large translucent tail. I'm calling these abyssal sail shells. The wide tail plates are instantly recognizable. Allow it to rapidly move through water, navigating the veiled tangles safely. A living outcrop. Tiny creatures crawl silently along the layers of dark rock, leaving behind strange marks in the shallow silt piles. At the basalt shelf sinks back into the sills in the ocean floor, falls away into a huge glittering field of glittering bales. Great. What's this? Complex creature. It's hard to tell if this is a colonial creature or a single individual, which it should keep those distance to avoid those tentacles. A group of looped veils output the same pattern in an ornate game of call and response. Are they communicating with each other? Away from the outcrops, the veil claims what territory they can. This field is large enough seen, wandering away into the deep. Yes, it's only this way. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one real quick. Because I need a bunch more of that. Veil gap. A split into the veil leads into their ornate interior. Navigating this huge tangle will be a struggle. Veils are reaching in towards the point on the ocean floor, like vines seeking the sun. Here, the walls of veils come to a close, turning away from the core of the tangle at strange angles. From the middle point of the tangle, it's possible to see beyond the glimmering walls to the ocean beyond. The veils on each side are mimicking each other, both in shape and pattern. Pulsing light is playing a mirror game. Now we'll go directly through it. Ooh, this thing. There we go. Deep Orrery. An ornate creature that casts net-like arrangements of tentacles and polyps to shock passing prey into submission. All these orbiting polyps and strings, I'm naming this creature the Deep Orrery. Veil Waste Pile. Interesting. Sample candidate. Bodies of creatures that were trapped in the veils lie in the piles in the cells. The veils must pass from here, mass them here from tangle to tangle. Alright, cool. Maybe I can find another basalt outcropping. Let's get a sample real quick from here. Oh no, it's just digester remains. Let's see if there's anything else in here. A veil clearing. Tangle gap. I'll hop back over here real quick because I want to take a look at if there's anything new on this basalt pillar. Ovular growths. At the tip of the shelf, fed by a soft current, these creatures pump moving water along the outcrop. Is this why the veils stay away? Deep oasis. The glow of an amber fan and the soft shape of its petal audience can be seen just behind the black rock. More oxygen. I'm wondering if this is just more sample stuff or is this actually... Okay. The petals here have their roots dug up by some creature. We could take a sample of them. Here we go. That's just fan sheath. Which I might have actually wanted. Let's see. Tail segment. Deep pollen. Digester remains. Second digester remains. Let's eat that. More deep pollen. Beaded eggs. Ovoid bud. And another ovoid bud. There we go. Take this sample here now. Cool. Back to trekking along these. Doesn't look like there's anything actually over in this direction. Oh, you tiny ass. The tangle is behind us now, leaving only the dark of the deep ocean ahead. Cool. The veil thins out, the last of their light falling across the sandy slopes as it descends deeper into the water. The slope continues down its irresistible descent towards the distant abyssal plain. Probably don't have to go this way. But there's probably something over here. I know, it's just another tangle split. Okay. Another shelf appears out of the rock, but nowhere on the surface can I see the warm glow of a fan. Unlike the other outcrops, this one is free of life. Is proximity to the veils vital for the other colonies' coexistence? Outside the reach of the veils, the dark, cool water is a welcome change from the incoherent pattern of lights. Oh, here it is, the ROV. Another Mina's ROV scattered across the outcrop. We should be able to use its transmission core to reach to the base. Here, in the middle of the outcrop, an ROV. This one was carrying a supply cache too. We can recharge and refill our oxygen. Let's access its map data. Open up the terminal when you're ready. Tell me what you got. Seems like the ROV was disabled with the veils, just like the other one. This can't be right. The mapping scans report a large physical anomaly just north of here. From the data, it looks like a structure? That's impossible. Maybe the veils fried the sensors. Either way, we should go check it out. Dude, what about this planet makes you say anything is impossible anymore? We literally just found a giant-ass, like, wreckage of a spaceship. Past the shelf, there's only the dark descending slope. There's nothing here but the silt flickering in the suit's headlamps. Some strange geometric rocks sit in the dark. What are these formations? A huge flat structure bedded into the seafloor. Could Mine have built this? Probably not. This thing is way too big. What are we looking at here? Appears to be some kind of shaft cut into the bedrock. I can't see the bottom. Who made this? It looks like it's been here far longer than anything else. The dark shaft. Evil counterpart to, you know, shaft. Let's go down. Let's go down even further. Open shaft. The soup's lamps reveal two dark holes on opposite sides of the shaft. Their torn edges thick with crimson rust. The bent entryway bulges inward like the inferior quarter of some huge creature's distended body. What do we got? Ooh, a creature. A pale polyp. This almost motionless polyp with its waving cilia is anchored into the metal plating. Its pale flesh is drained of color. Its pale coasters are scraping patterns into the walls. What are they? Let's see what we can find out. Sand-choked room. Sand drifts off in the metal room. On the far wall, strange spirals glint in the headlamps as pale creatures obsessively trace their patterns. The compartment is filled with sand and rock, which looks to have been entered through the collapsed ceiling. There's nothing here. I'm gonna go further down. What else we got? Entry seal. Huge round doorway sealed with a thin metal security iris, the places of which are furred with orange rust. It's some kind of facility. What was happening down here? Why would somebody bury this place so deep? We have to get inside. We can use the torch to cut through the seal. Fire it up. This sounds like a very low resolution audio of somebody just peeing into like a tin can. Sand and rock fills one side of the accessory-way. Dark holes in the walls and the ceiling reveal layers of eaten away piping and ducts. Beyond the doorway, a vast dark space opens onto the rock, filled with rusted remains of skeletal remains of rusted machines. Uh-oh. We've changed UI color. Red sediment. The water is filled with red flakes, catching the lamp from the walls. Rusticles hang in lump and garlands. Okay, just one sec. I need to check something. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the spooky red zone. This place is huge. How the hell was it built down here? Probably meticulously and over time. There's very little oxygen for the rebreather to cycle down here, so we're running on reserve. Let's move. Great. Once the loading bay or vehicle hangar, this dome trim is now dark and distorted. Its huge sand drifts into hiding piles of oxidized metal. Above, a huge shelf lurches out of the curved roof of the bay, its underside hung with globular orange spines. Actually, one sec. The music is starting to pick up real loud, so I'm just gonna turn it down just a touch. God, it's still getting real loud. There we go. That should be better, at least. Or at least roughly at a reasonable level. The Inoue frame of this vehicle lies outside the lock. It cannot be twisted open and fused in place. Something weird has happened down here. Arcology entrance. A large open lock leads into the depths of what appears to be a corporate arcology. What secrets could have been buried in this place? Both locks of the massive main door sit open. The entire arcology must be flooded. What's this? Download. User X Otter. Dive recorder. Fragment. Massive breach. Life support will fail in 2 hours. Is there anyone Bakai on this channel? Please respond. Oh, great. The main volume of the arcology is broken up by low buildings. Partitioned away from other spaces. Were these offices? Homes? The vast volume of arcology lies ahead, piled with rocks and sand, drowned in this dark ocean. Those are Bakai markings. What was an exoplanet extraction corp doing here? I worked for Bakai. Mina worked for Bakai. They built the suit. They built the base. They mine exoplanets, skim helium from gas giants, help drive forward humanity's expansion. If they discovered life, we'd have known. Everyone would have known, unless something happened here. Something they didn't want anyone to know about. In all directions, huge sand drifts shine in the dark. Among them, shapes of crippled buildings resembled remnants of a deserted city. Let's go this way fast. There we go. Bright spirals. The metal walls of this passage are etched with strange spiral patterns. What made these? Some glisten with a thick mucus. It's a small child with a runny nose. God. Oh, 3 of these. I'm probably gonna need these for something. There we go. Pale polyp. Scans suggest this creature is eroding the surface below through its cilia, absorbing nutrients from the oxidizing metal. Thick knots of wires are strung between angular buildings. Ducts and pipes poke through the pockmarked metal plates. This distinct shape of a metal disc lies half buried, its surface blurred by a thick coating of silt. Oh, there's more of these. Let's see what this one is. User H. Albright. Say again, Constantine did what? Jesus Christ. Harrison, sight to his breach. Power is spiking. The metal walls are buckled by pressure and corrosion, leaving a large wound in the side of this compartment. This entire corner of this room is piled with tons of rock and sand, leading to a gaping hole in the arcology ceiling above. E. Harrison. Deep retrieval needs more repairs. They need to stop pushing so hard. The artificers aren't going anywhere. Oh. They wanted the creatures that make the very, very powerful material. The lines of the fabrication and machines suggest this was some sort of machine room for repair and maintain of the arcology. Loose wires hanging across the doorway are clumped with fragile lumps of silk like tumorous growth. Gross. An automated transponder sled loaded with crushed storage crates juts unevenly out of the sand. Wait, did I scan this one? Oh, yeah. I just made a big loop. Passage to the northwestern part of the arcology is blocked by a huge rock slide with boulders strewn across the concourse. Let's download this real fast. Massive breach. Life support will fail. Oh no, we've already seen this. Wait, no. Is there anyone in Blacklist? Please respond. Yeah, we've already seen this one. Wonder why it's not counting. It's not keeping red. Time to cut. While we're doing this, let's read this one. Site 2 is silent and there's nothing from Phenelos. Site 1 is off the grid. Where are the rescue teams? Yes. Why does this one keep changing? Yeah, X auto row. But it keeps turning white again. That's weird. Bent at a sharp angle, the wall here is coming away from the floor, leaving sharp edge openings into the room behind. The tables, the distorted rows of chairs, this had to be where they ate, where they spoke. How many lived here? Well, from so far we know like 5? Scattered seats. Chairs lying disarray. What happened here? Was it sudden or a slow creeping realization about everything that was about to end? The polyp's flesh recoils at the barest hint of pressure, but no further movement or response occurs. Sand slips down over the tables and chairs from the breach in the wall. It's hard not to imagine just witnessing the breach. Nothing from Orphelos. Their feet just cut out. We are being erased here. Bakai is pulling the plug. Bakal. Disobedience will be reported. Consider your next action carefully. Damn it, Koji, we're dead and buried here. The facility twists away into the dark, drifts of pale sand filling its corridors as if it is an ancient tomb. The metal plates here are marked with elaborate spiraling patterns. Their makers, ghostly polyps, scrape back and forth, adding to their work. Spirals have been etched across their surface, representing the polyp's path of movement at rate of 1 inch per week. There we go, the slow mason. Slow, colorless polyps found inside the arcology ruins. They trace spirals across the metal remains of the facility, feeding off of it. I'll call these slow masons for their careful glacial etching on the arcology's walls. They are hypnotic. The wall glistens with thick secretions left by polyps retracing the same pattern over and over. We can sample this thick mucus here. Is this the same stuff we got previously? Let's see. Yes, it is. And might as well eat a little bit of it, just so I can get a little bit more oxygen. Sand has filled this corridor, which looks like to have led back to the entry hall. The breach must have been catastrophic. A metal desk is pushed against the sand drift. A Bakai branding mug holds a pile of rotting papers from drifting away. Oh man, I always wanted a coffee mug that was part of what appears to be mass murder site due to the incredible crushing power of water and negligence by a parent company. This room was totally obliterated by rock and sand. The shards of bent walls are the only remainings of the building. I'm sorry, Isabel, for what we did here. Dude, what did you do? Among the sand drifts that fill the four buildings are the shapes of tiered bunks. This is where they slept. This place isn't a facility, it's a city. How many more died here? Those without diverticals, those buried under rock and sand. Makes my skin crawl. Berth entry. The door to the berths is slid back, revealing the sand-choked beds of the arcology's occupants. A set of overalls lies flat on the bed, wisps of sediment drifting from their openings, a Bakai logo still faintly visible. K. Anderson. You don't know that, Jason. They are going to come for us. No one is coming. We both know that. J. Opuli. I lied to get here, Kai, and now I'm going to pay for it. What do you mean? This isn't even my real name. I'm going to get some shut-eye. First geo-entering shift is in 4 hours. See you in 3. Behind the crew's quarters, huge pipes sit against the wall, surrounded by sand. What was powering this place when it was in operation? Were these supplying the power for the arcology? Perhaps a geothermal plant buried deep below. The wide tunnel in the northern part of the arcology is completely collapsed. Is there anything left under all these tons of rock? This octagonal atrium was clearly once lined with glass and filled with water, an aquarium at the heart of this facility. That's the hubris of man, having an aquarium in the deep sea. Earth originating species of coral from the families Mucidae and Mulinidae. They feed through both photosynthesis and filtering. Earthborn corals. These polyps build environmental for themselves through the calcareous material deposited as their skeletons. This pipe, now filled with sand, looks like it exploded outwards, taking the atrium wall with it. With a prime view of the atrium, this had to be the office of someone important. Now, within the arcology. Now it's just another derelict room. I understand, sir. No, we are prepared to follow erasure protocols. The site is already sealed, with all hands present. Oh, missed this one. Glowing fan, a sample candidate. The fans seem to have a similar relationship with the corals. It consumes their spawn and they absorb the fan's light. Oh, it's just another fan sheath. Though that would actually be really nice. Miss something up here real quick. The derelict atrium reaches upward. Its sculpted rock towers rising in the dark, which we can use to reach the upper levels. Oh, there we go. And basalt towers brought from the slopes above to decorate the aquarium. A reminder of the occupants. A reminder for the occupants of the ocean above their heads. That's not disconcerting at all. Metal boxes sit on powered pallets, abandoned mid-transit. Where were they moving in and out of this place? Probably those little silicon creatures. The rock and sand covers the rust metal of the archaeology so completely that it's hard to know where the facility ends and the caves begin. The walls here are covered in spiraling patterns in an obscure lexicon written in glistening trails of mucus. We already have like 3 different samples of mucus. Yeah. Here, the collapsing archaeology walls have broken through into an existing cave complex deep beneath the ocean floor. The caves lead away from the bulk of the archaeology, wrapping themselves through the solid rock of the planet's crust. The sand filling this tunnel turns into a dark horizontal slit, but I can detect a current running into it. How deep do these caves lead? Spirals here are more smaller and more interwoven than elsewhere in the archaeology. Layer after layer form a patina of circular marks. A large molted skin is piled in the corner of this cave, fragments of it drifting away across the sand. What creature left us here? Probably the polyps. But we're gonna take some. Yep. I'm actually gonna eat this first one, just because it gives a lot. And then grab the second one. Yep. These caves look ancient and deep. Is this where the creatures now inside the archaeology came from? Did the breach release them? Time to go all the way back here. So we can get back up to the top part. How does it feel to get murdered by your corporation deep under the ocean? Doesn't matter because you're dead. Okay, back up. Let's take a look. Oh, Jesus, this is big. It's multi-directional. Broken glass. Object. The struts supporting the window have corroded away. Their uncoated metal now furred with rust. 8 broken windows stare out of the atrium into the upper floors where white paneled walls resist the rust. At the top of the basalt pillar, a miniature statue of Bacchus' suit stands heroically. What the hell was this place? The aquarium glass of the atrium is shattered, revealing only glinting shards in the orange rust-stained silt. Around the atrium, some of these seating areas remain flooded with sand. It's easy to imagine lab techs meeting here on their lunch. Sole facility destroyed, buried, erased. Was this what Mina was looking for in the deep of the ocean? But how did she even know it was here? I feel like I'm swimming through other people's secrets. Abe Bendiak. I'm sure it's just a standard security drill, Mr. Fidelns. We will be able to return you to the other shareholders shortly. Ooh, shareholders got murdered too. The financial implications are massive. We have never even come close to achieving this level of computation before. A crippled metal shutter has rusted over the hole left by the broken window, a security measure which in the end meant nothing. I probably have to eat some of these soon, because I'm getting real... There we go. Starting to get low. Collapse corridor. The ceiling here bulges with the weight of the rock above, the walls of sand curling inwards. God, there's a lot in here. The entirety of this room is lost beneath layers of sand. The bars of a metal frame and, like bent and broken ribs, poke out of the drift. The acid yellow containers shine brightly in the suit's lamp. Streaks of rust along the sides show they have sealed. They have sealed with time. The rooms here have been buried in rock, leaving only the shattered passage between them and this cave. Security iris. Time to cut that open. Here we go. The ceiling of the entry hall is partially collapsed. Is a gridwork of girders bent and rusted. The rusted choked hall stretches out in the dark below. Wrecks and rocks lie in the shadows and stilt. Wait, there's nothing here? That's weird. Oh, is it way back down? Okay, never mind. Let's go down real quick. I'm gonna have to start eating samples soon, which sucks. Oh, okay, I understand now. Way back to where we were. I'm hoping this place isn't too much longer because my voice is starting to get real hoarse. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Cave must connect to the others under the slopes, allowing the creatures to come and go. That's molten skin. I don't want that. I want this one. Spiral secretions. Oh, thank God. Put that here. There we go. The nice thing is that, due to the way that this works, I can just go back and forth like this and a new one will spawn. Or maybe not. Maybe I've lied to you. Broken panels. The cave and this room have merged here, so it is hard to tell where one from the other. Was this cave here before the breach? Deep cracks lead in the dark and handful of tracks suggest creatures come and go. Is this the source of the initial breach? No, it's because they literally detonated it so that it would die. So this entire place would be consumed by the ocean. A dark and rough silt behind the lab's paneling leads into the bedrock of the planet. Here the wall seems to have breached through the cave, through to a cave system during the breach. Ornate geometric skeletons, like those found on the Bloom. Mina called them artificers. What are they doing down here? This is what they were making. Artificer skeletons. They were using them. Harvesting them? The equipment here. They were building something. Slicing and etching the artificer skeletons. But what? Can these geodesic spheres really be valued enough to build a whole arcology around? And then to bury it. Ah, yeah. Mineral fragments. They give me a lot of oxygen. Okay, keep that one for right now. Let's see. Sand drifts. This side of the lab is layered with sweeping sand, covering the layers of ornate machinery. Let's just start sending in this direction while we read these. Decrypting. Santiago. We have to power it down. If the shield is breached, it could blow out the whole facility. Start shutdown now. Protect the specimens. These skeletons alone are able to correlate millions of qubits. They are irreplaceable. That doesn't feel like a real sentence. Able to correlate millions of qubits. Sealed cups still sit on the surface. Stylus is buried in layers of silver silt. Hardware corroded into lumpless piles. This was a computing lab. All these machines are for hardware fabrication. Atomic etcher. Nice. Why didn't these close when the arcology was breached? Were they open afterwards? The lockdown somehow overridden? Oh, so the silicon things are like super advanced computing equipment that they can make. The security locks lie wide open, giving a clear view of the laboratory equipment beyond. Unlike the lower level, the walls have resisted the corrosion. Their matte white covering stained with orange but unbroken. Oh, am I getting low on power? Okay, that's fine. The huge entryway suggests this is the complex's main lab. Faded Bakai marking explain procedures for entry and decontamination. More broken glass. This is gonna... I figure if there's something in here I can shred. Can't use that. This is only good for oxygen. Shattered doorway. I don't want to have to like get rid of an egg or something, but I'll do it if I need to. Ruined fabricator. This fabricator looks like a suit fabricator, retooled to build large-scale machinery. Its buckled plates reveal a crimson interior fused by rust. Like blocky coffins, these containers are used by Bakai to ship their suits to active facilities. These are empty. The Artificer. With them, we could rewrite life as we wish. We could rewrite it to endure, Lucas, to surpass us. What? So they're genetic machines? I mean, that's a really abstract way of just saying life in general, but still. These things are getting weird. Let's see. Take the suit, Akari. Stop arguing. Without you, this project is dead anyway. Oki needs to survive. A lightweight lab suit sits propped in a chair. Sediment drifts from gashes in the soft material. Hollow sockets in the helmet's faceplate. Ooh. My little Mine, I'm sorry to leave you all alone. Sing a little for your mother. It's so quiet here. Ah. Mine's mother. That's why she was so intent on finding this place. And why she needed the other thing. Akari Nakamura. I don't understand. How? It's impossible. It's her. It's Mine's mother. This is why Mine came here. She was looking for her mother. She has been here a long time. Decades. Has Mine been looking for all this time? God, Mine, why didn't she say something? Anything. I can't... Give me a minute. Okay, I'm just going to keep continuing along then. Akari Nomura's lab. The lab is ripped apart. Plates buckled outwards. Massive coolant pipes breached. Twisted metal now browned with age. I like the fact that her mom is the only one that referenced somebody outside of the lab. It makes it really easy to put those together. A long yellow cylinder marked with turquoise glyphs, identical to the casing mounted on the back of the suit. Our suit. This is the same cylindrical casing as the one mounted on this suit. The same casing that houses you. Akari was building it from artificers, building it with the machines in this ecology. She was building you? This is you, one of you at least, a draft, an earlier version, a prototype. Akari is your mother, your creator? Did you know this? Did you know about any of this? Then you forgot? You malfunctioned? God, I can't think. We need to go. I don't want to be here anymore, please. No, we've got more things to check. Shattered tubing. The glass tubes that once fed coolant into the lab's core are now shattered. Glass shards now smothered by soft currents. Coolant pipe. The inside of the pipe bulges with corroded growth. It stretches up towards the surface in a faint circle of light above. Wait, we can go further down? Down we go. Ah, what do we find? Another slow mason. Can I take samples here? No. Okay. Cute. Okay, but we gotta go. I'm getting dangerously low on fuel, and I really don't want to. I don't want to start digging into my samples that I still need to study. The surface of the basalt towers dances faintly with the blue light that falls from the surface above. They look calm, ancient. The slopes descend into the dark ahead. Their silver slit a single plane leading towards an inevitable end. We are out. I don't know what to say. We're still range of the ROV slopes. Call for pickup. Let's go home. Yeah, okay. Whew, that was a little stressing right there. Oh, we're only down for 3.6 hours. You're back. I'm down in medical. I disabled the quarantine. It's beautiful in here. What? Oki, is that your name? Sure, why not? I like it, despite the history. Listen, I don't know what you are thinking right now, but I want to say, I trust you. I don't know what you knew about the ecology, about Bakai's history on this planet. Even your own history. But I do know that you helped me, you protected me, you guided me. I owe you for that, no matter where you came from. You didn't choose to be created, like any of us, but this place is your home. You are made from pieces of this ocean, from pieces of its past, at least. I'm learning not to be afraid of the past. I'm not afraid of her, either, of Mine, if that is her name now. I think she must have found something among these skeletons of the bloom, something truly alien. It changed her. It continues to change her. Perhaps that is what she needed. Change. I found something I think you need to hear. We're going through the archaeology data, and it wasn't the only facility on this planet. There were 2 other sites, 2 other Bakai facilities. We need to find them. Bakai was up to something on this planet, something bigger than just AI research. I don't want to look away. I want to see what Baikal did with my own eyes. I've marked the site's coordinates on the dive map. We should be able to cut our way in. This is not just about me anymore. It's about what Baikal did. Baikal is about what's happening here. It's about your history and the way it carries. I'm ready when you are. Jesus Christ, my throat. Ugh. Okay. Let's just put all these away real fast. Go into the lab, study them. that's everything so far. Okay, let's just do the hab real quick. Take a look at this. Put this here. I know you've been reading these. The access logs show you, so someone has been in the file system of my terminal and well, or process of mutilation, it has to be you. I don't mind. In fact, I suppose I have been writing these entries for an imagined audience anyways, confessions, or maybe just a need to talk. We make a strange trio now. Me, a depressed xenobiologist who can't keep their mouths shut. You, an AI built from the remnants of a sentient species. And your sister, Mine, who is now more plant than human. As far as I can tell, we are the only ones on this planet who have any chance of finding out what happened here. I think I'm starting to understand why Mine called me here. It was because she trusts me not to give up, not to let this go. Let's not disappoint her. Oh, Jesus Christ. She got a lot of... She's spreading out a little bit. She's stretching. Bay is leaving. Okay. Just gonna leave these up real fast. And then that'll be the end of today. Because I cannot go for another... I can't go for much longer with this without completely shooting my voice. Aw, cute. Kind of. Ooh, the bubble crabs. Oh, wait. God, there's a lot of these. Okay, those ones actually look pretty cool. Ah, yes, the big boys. Orb. Ah, yes, the true orb. One of the greatest creatures. And there we go, the last little bubblers. These small cutie patooties. Okay, that's all for today. Judging by the rate at which we're going through this game, we're probably going to finish it up tomorrow. I'm going to go through and try and collect some of it if I have time. Just like some of the extra stuff in the areas like the bloom and the, maybe some of the other ones like that one I couldn't find previously. But otherwise, that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.